Hi, and welcome to Production Bytes. I'm your host today, Digest. Today I'll be showing you through Sugarbyte's popular plugin, Wow. In this review, I'll be showing you through the plugin and its capabilities, but focusing strongly on how you can use the plugin to modulate bass sounds for EDM style genres. I will show you some practical applications for the plugin and run through the main pros and cons. Wow is a Filterbox plugin for PC and Mac. It has the typical filters that you would expect to find from a filter plugin, such as. What I personally find great about Wow, and what it's most commonly used for within dubstep, is its vowel mode, where you can choose between two types of vowels to mix through by using the cutoff control. This works on all the filter types within Wow. Here at the top of the plugin, we have the filter section. Firstly, we have the vowel mode control, which is currently on. When it's on, it turns the cutoff control to control the mix between vowel A and vowel B. Next, we have the overdrive control, which is a dry and wet control of how much overdrive you want to put on the signal. Then we have our resonance control, which is a dry and wet control of how much resonance the filter will put out. And then we also have our filter selection list. Next, we have our modulators section. Firstly, you have an envelope follow modulator, which has frequency range control, attack, release, and a gain control. Next, we have an LFO. This has the rate of the LFO, wave, which you can change between sine, pulse, saw, triangle, random, and then have a sensitivity button as well. Then we have a step sequencer, which you can change the tempo, the style, and a smoothness control. And at the bottom of the plugin, we have our overall control, which has a dry and wet mix control, which controls how much of the signal will get affected by the filter, and a master volume control, which is the volume of the plugin. Wow has a very easy to use modulation control called the modulation mixer. Any control within Wow can be modulated by control clicking on the control. This then brings up the modulation mixer. This mixer allows you to select which modulator you'd want to modulate the control with by dragging either left or right. It lets you combine which modulators you want, and you can even modulate modulators with another. Wow is great for bringing life to some of your dubstep basses that you have made. For demonstration purposes, I am using a massive patch that I've collected as an example to use Wow on. Here is the bass with no external effects. You need to start off by selecting a blank patch. You do this by going to the presets section, user, and 0 default. This will give you a blank bass to start to work from. Next, I'm going to turn on the vowel mode, as this is the style that I want for this bass. You can now see that the cutoff is now a mix control for my two vowels, A and B. Now I'm going to choose my filter by going to the filter selector. For this bass, I want to use the band reject filter. Here's what the bass sounds like with both the vowel mode and the band rejector filter on. Now to choose which vowels we want to modulate between. For this bass, I'm going to use an A and a U. Next, control click on the cutoff control to bring up our modulation mixer. I want to use an LFO to control the mix between A and U, so I'm going to do that by dragging left. On the LFO section, I can now choose the rate of the LFO and to set it to where I think is best. I also want to modulate the resonance, so again I control click on the resonance control. I also want to use the LFO to modulate this control, so again I'm just going to pull it left. And now we should have something that sounds like this. Next, I want to dirty up the sound by adding some overdrive to the signal. For this, I'm not going to modulate it. We should now have something that sounds like this. And lastly, pull the mix up to 50% wet. And set the modulation mixer to use an envelope follower. And just drag it left. And I'm just going to use it how it is stock at the moment. It should now sound something like this. So without the WoW filter on, we have something that sounds like this. And now if we turn it on, even though the main characteristics are the same, the bass is much more exciting and has a lot more movement, which will make your song sound more interesting. At just €79, WoW is very affordable and well worth the money. It's very easy to use, especially for beginners, and the possibilities of different modulations are endless. The stock presets are used quite a lot by different people, so be creative with the plugin and enjoy experimenting with it. Find links below to the Sugarbytes official website, where you can read more about WoW and their other products. Also check out our own Facebook page, which is linked below, and please remember to like and subscribe. I have been your host today, Digest, and I hope you found this video helpful.